Hey guys, okay. People have been asking. I said something one day about when I was a boy, I had a monkey. And a lot of folks say, well, tell us about the monkey, Papa. I was probably about 10, 10 years old. And back then, Sears and Roebuck sold almost anything under the sun. They built houses. They built garages. In fact, the garage that is down at Kim's house, my dad had Sears come out, Sears and Roebuck. He ordered it. They come out and put it up. The garage. It's still there. They evidently did good work. And they built houses. Not real big houses, but I guess 1, 2 bedroom little houses. But they built garages, 1 car garage, 2 car garages. My dad had I guess it may be a 2 car, I'm not really sure. It's pretty good size. Anyway, be quiet, I'm talking. Them guineas, sometimes they're rude. They can be rude when they want to be. But anyway, back to the monkey. Sears sold monkeys. They sold dogs. Dogs of probably any breed. Chickens, turkeys, guineas. They sold it all. Fence wires, fence staples, anything for the farm. Anything for the farm. And but I'm digging through the catalog, and that was one of our pastimes, looking through the Sears catalog, it's a wish book. And I turned the page, I was looking at different dogs and stuff, the breeds that they sold. And I turned the page, and there's this monkey. A real live monkey, where they come from, Africa or wherever. And it was a little squirrel monkey. And I can't remember. I think it was somewhere around $30. And I had little odds and ends chores I did for around. And somebody might give me $1, somebody might give me 50 cents, whatever. But I had saved up some little bit of money, and I told my mom I want to get a monkey. And so she matched whatever I had. We ordered a monkey. Who in their right mind would order a monkey? I don't know, a week, 2 weeks went by, whatever. And one day the train depot now, in Cleveland, called. And my mom answered the phone. They said, we have a package here for you, a live crate package, whatever they call it. But the only thing we knew it's live, it's coming to us, was a monkey. My mom called me in all excited, said, hey, your monkey's at the train station. We jumped in the old car and we took off. And I don't know how long that monkey had been there before we got there, maybe an hour or 2, I don't know, maybe all morning. But those guys that worked there had been picking on that monkey. Oh, I don't mean bad, but like poking things at him, and they'd stick a stick in there, and I knew they had because there were some little chewed up sticks in there. Everybody could chew up a stick. They could chew your hand up too. Anyway, we got him, got the little crate, we come home. My dad had, in the meantime, had built me a little, I guess you'd call it a cage, but it's real nice, about a 4, 5, 6 foot square, had wire bottom, wire sides, had a top, but the top was like a tarp over a wire top. And it was all stapled down all the way around. And a little nest box in there, and a little limb for him to climb on. It was really a neat little cage. And we got home, we took him out there, and opened up his little door and he hopped in there. Boy, he hopped up on the little limb and he'd hang his little tail on stuff and he'd look at us and he'd pee on you. Yeah. I don't know if that was some kind of defensive move. He thought that was a defensive way to make us back up or what, but we would back up. And my mom and I, from that point on, developed this love-hate relationship with each other. Not on her part, not mine. I always loved my mom. My mom loved me too, unless I invited her friends out to see the monkey. He would pee on them. I don't know why. That was just something he did. He'd see you coming, and he'd aim it, his little boy monkey, and he would aim it, and he could pee a long ways out there. It was crazy. Okay, come time, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to gentle him down because, he wouldn't let you touch him. I'd reach in there to get him, but he'd bite the mess out of him. I'm talking about he'd bring blood. He'd draw blood. So my dad said, look, I got some gloves you need to probably wear until you gentle him down, And they were gloves he got from the refinery. They was real thick, but they had a vinyl coating for chemicals and stuff. And they come up almost to your elbows, almost like welding gloves. I'd put the old big gloves on, I'd reach in and I'd catch him, hold him, and the whole time he's chewing on my finger, on them gloves. You couldn't bite through them, but you could feel the pressure. There was a lot of pressure. If he got a bit through them, he'd eat a finger off. I don't remember what we named that monkey, probably Devil or something like that. I don't know. But he was bad. He was one bad monkey. Donkey. I get thinking about Ivy. He would eat you alive. And people would come, to visit, and everybody heard, Jean had a monkey, and they'd always want to see it. Mom would always try to discourage her friends from going out. Said, no, y'all, he's not gentle, and she didn't want to say he'll pee on you. And finally, I think after so many people got peed on, she would just tell them outright, don't go out there, he'll pee on you. and he would. The little guy would see you coming, and he'd hop up on there facing you. He'd aim it, and he'd let her rip. But I would catch him sometimes and take him and put him on the front porch. We had a screen in the front porch. It's big, like probably a 12 by 16 or 20 or something. Big porch. Good screen. And he'd just hop from space to space, on that screen, climbing around. And we had a porch swing, and he'd get on that porch swing and he'd make it kind of go back and forth. Not sitting on it, but standing on it. But he knew what made it go. He'd get going. And I went out one day to do something. Went out the door, screen door. Now I closed it behind me, but I didn't latch it, because I was coming right back in. Well, we had this old dog named Rex, and I'll tell you, I've told y'all about Rex before. Rex wasn't afraid of nothing. He was the one that my brother and I took out those woods that night, and Bigfoot was out there in them woods. And Rex got scared. That's why we knew of something bad. But Rex happened to come in the porch with me. That monkey saw him, and I don't know if he thought that was dinner or the end of him or whatever. He attacked that dog. He drops down on that dog like he's riding a horse, wraps his little old legs and arms around that dog's neck and starts just chewing on the back of his head. And Rex is going nuts. I mean nuts. He's chewing him up bad. I don't have my gloves on. How am I going to pull that monkey off? Well, I did. I finally grabbed the monkey and throwed him before he could bite me. And I didn't have to ask Rex to go outside. He was out that door. If that door had been latched, he'd have tore it off the hinges. But that monkey was bad. And had a lot of fun on that monkey. And Mom, we always had company on Sunday afternoons. Always had, people come home from church sometimes to eat with us. And Sometimes the preacher would come, and old folks would. I shouldn't say that because I do it now. After dinner, they'd always kind of, those that didn't leave right away, they'd all kind of kick back, close their eyes, and just kind of mumble a little bit and kind of nap and stuff. You might say in the chairs, especially those staying over until Sunday night church, like the preacher or somebody like that. Well, I'd come in and I always invite them to come see my monkey. They had to come see that monkey. I can't remember how many people probably went to church that night with pee stains on them. My mom would get so mad at me. Oh, she was going to do this to me, she was going to do that to me, but I'd always talk my way out of it. You'd get her to laughing about it, and my dad, she'd say, I'm going to tell your dad, I'm going to tell your dad, and my dad just kind of smiled. That's the way to get rid of them, son. That's the way to get rid of them. That's the story about Monkey, but had him for several years. Never could I just let Monkey down. Finally, one winter, we had a big winter storm blew in. It was cold, icy, and rainy and stuff, and wind was blowing hard, and somehow I got up underneath that tarp and blew that tarp off. And we should have had a metal roof on her by now, but we didn't. And it rained, I guess, on him during the night. But he had his little desk box. Still, it's cold and probably got a little bit wet. But he gets pneumonia. We couldn't take him to, well, there wasn't no vets around back then. There was no vets around this area at all. But we couldn't have took him nowhere. He'd eat you up. So we just we brought him in on the porch and made him a good warm bed on the porch in a box. But he passed away. And I don't know the lifespan on a monkey. I don't know. We'd had him several years. Never again would I want to buy a monkey. But we did buy dogs from, just like Rex. We bought him from Sears. My mom would buy chickens stuff from Sears. Chicks. And they'd send them in the mail. Well, you can still do that today with these hatcheries. Kim buys chicks, and I bought chicks and guineas and everything else here recently. Last year I bought some guineas from a hatchery up not too far from here. They ship them all over, I guess, the United States. Ship them in the mail. The postal lady will call you and say, I got a box of chicks here for you. And you go to the mail up to the post office, knock on the door, and they bring them out to you. I don't guess they want to carry them in their car on these rural routes. It'd probably be too hot for them or whatever. Surely be too loud because they're going cheep, 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 cheep. All right, folks, I'm going to cut this off. I just want to tell y'all a story about my monkey. Sears and Roebuck sold everything. I bet y'all probably have some stories about stuff y'all bought from Sears and Roebuck. They was the main place to go for stuff. Sears and Roebuck even showed up in outhouses. You go visit somebody, you have to go out to the outhouse to be an old Sears and Roebuck catalog. At least you had something to read. Catch you guys later. I love y'all. I was just thinking, in closing off this video, I watched that movie with John Wayne, Atari. I don't know if y'all ever seen it. It's an old movie. They're down there, I guess, in Africa, the Serengeti, wherever, and they're capturing all these animals for zoos and stuff. I bet that's how they caught my monkey, because they throw this big net in that movie over this tree full of monkeys. And they caught all those monkeys, and they were being sent to zoos or Sears and Roebuck. One of them monkeys probably in that top of that tree was mine. They probably sent him straight from there, from the Serengeti, to Plum Grove. No stops in between. That's why he's ready to eat you alive. That dude was wild. He was one wild monkey. Every time I saw that movie after that, I'd always think about my monkey. That's where they got my monkey. Sears was buying that tree load of monkeys for people like me. Gullible. I love you guys. Y'all take care.